while we're recording.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Today's date is April 4th, 2022. In Gray County, Texas, I call cause number 34574 in the interest of Taylor Sunday Ann Maddox. What says the state?
Your Honor, the state is ready to proceed, but Mr. Maddox has a request and we don't oppose. But Your Honor, we are prepared to move forward today.
All right. Present by audio and video is Irene Maddox, and she's represented by her attorney, Ms. Rudd. Are you ready to proceed?
We are ready, Your Honor, and we would oppose any continuance because on March 7th, when we appeared the last time, Mr. Maddox was ordered to provide documentation of his business income, his employment income, and whatever documentation he had as far as court orders with this other child that he's claiming he should be given credit for. He was asked or ordered by the court to do so, to provide that information by March 31st. I got one paycheck stub. I have no other evidence, and so we would oppose any continuance.
Mr. Maddox is also present by telephone is Brian Maddox. Are you ready, sir?
I am asking for continuance because the taxes are not to be done until April the 15th, and I cannot get them done prepared before then. So in order for me to provide documentation and taxes for 2021, I would need to be after April 15th to do so. My 2020 taxes are filed, and they are filed away, and I don't know, I could not find them, so I have submitted a request to get a copy of them, and I have not received that yet. So I apologize.
It will take months, Mr. Maddox. It will take months to get that copy from the IRS.
Your Honor, I think, Mr. Maddox, were you saying that you submitted to the IRS, or did you tell me your CPA can provide you that?
I'm trying to get it from my CPA.
Okay, and then you said your CPA does have your information and is preparing your 2021 taxes?
Correct.
Okay, so correct. You're requesting a reset to May 2nd because you're anticipating receiving both of those.
Yes, ma'am.
And why haven't you provided any documentation on this other child?
I have submitted a request to the court to get a copy of that because, like I said, all of our documentation was packed up, but I cannot find it when I went through all of the files. We've got file boxes of paperwork between my wife and I did not see it in there, and she has not found it yet either. So I apologize for that.
All it takes is a letter to the district clerk and the appropriate of money, and you can get a copy within probably 5 to 7 days.
Okay. Well, I've called the lady that we were in contact with Child Services, and she was supposed to be working on that for me.
Is there a court order in that child?
Yes, ma'am. There's a court order in it's out of Canton, Texas. I can't remember the county. It is in Henderson? No. Van Zandt County.
Ms. DePoister, what's your response regarding the what's?
Your Honor, I would like to see his documentation. I'm not happy that it was not provided, but at the same time, I've dealt with CPAs around tax time, and perhaps that's legitimate that he hasn't received that yet. As to the court order, I'm sorry, I was understanding it was from another state, but since it's in Van Zandt County, I think it should be pretty easy for him to get a copy of that, as the court's indicated. And since the guidelines does take into account another child, I'd like to read the document. My understanding is it's a legal guardianship and not an adoption. So I think it would be important for us to see what the rights and responsibilities are spelled out in that document before we could determine whether he would qualify for that deduction. So I'd like to see that as well. So Your Honor, perhaps You know, my position, my position, Your Honor, would be that I'd like to see those documents, and certainly I'm not happy that they've not been provided already.
All right, Ms. Rudd, what's your response?
I will leave it up to the court, what your decision. Again, we oppose any continuance, and we just ask that any modification of the child support be dismissed, since we have no evidence of an increase and he has no evidence of a decrease. And we just address the health insurance and move on, but that's up to you.
Let me tell everyone that I will consider making the child support retroactive to the date of service, which was November 19th of 2021. So starting in December, I will consider making the child support retroactive to that date. I'm not pleased, Mr. Maddox, that you do not have this information. I'm going to grant a continuance May 2nd, 2022. Mr. Maddox, this week, I want you to walk into your CPA's office and get a hand copy handed to you of your tax return.
Of
And-
my 2020?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
And if it's a guardianship that over this other child that you allegedly have, you can go to the district or the county clerk or the district clerk, one or the other, probably the county clerk of Van Zant County, and contact them and send them a check. You have the cash, they will send you the documents you're after. That can be done in the next week. So I'm ordering that these be provided to Ms. Rudd and Ms. DePoyster at the AG's office by the 15th of this month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Present
I
evidence.
apologize for not having it.
You need to get copies. Otherwise, I consider it as evidence if you want it considered.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you all May 2nd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What time,
Thank
Ms. DePoyster?
Let's do 10:30 again, if that's okay with you, 5.
All right.
6 p.m. That's perfect.
All right, you're noticed to be here May 2nd, 2022 at 10:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
And
Bye-bye.
Mr. Maddox has Ms. Rudd's email, and if she'll forward to me, he was not able to write down